Okay, so today we're going to talk about exponents. Do you guys remember exponents? You have a big number and a little number. So an exponent is a way to show a single number being multiplied by itself a number of times. Go ahead and hit pause and write that down. Alright, so if you have 3 to the 5th, that means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Now we have a couple of rules, and we need to know the different parts of an exponent. For example, what's the big number called? A base, and the little number is called the exponent. Now, we have what is called the product rule of exponents. And the product rule of exponents says, when two numbers with the same bases are being multiplied, you only have to add the exponents. A to the m times a to the n is equal to a to the m plus n. You need to pause and write this down. Okay, so let me show you how this actually works. Let's say that I had 8 to the 4th times 8 to the 3rd. What does 8 to the 4th actually mean? 8 times 8 times 8 times 8. And what does 8 to the 3rd actually mean? 8 times 8 times 8. So if I wrote that out, I would have 8 times 8 times 8 times 8, which is 8 to the 4th, times 8 times 8 times 8, which is 8 to the 3rd. Now, if I rewrote just this part right here as an exponent, it would be 8 to the 7th. So let's look at that again. 8 to the 3rd times 8 to the 4th, reverse that, is 8 to the 7th, which is the same thing as just adding my bases. 4 plus 3 is 7. So whenever you have the same base, it's adding the bases. No, the bases stay the same. Adding the exponents. It is never 64 to the 7th. I don't multiply these two and then leave the rest the same, do I? No, no, no. The base stays the same. You add the exponents. All right, let's try one. Actually, let's try why this doesn't work. We can't do this because the bases aren't the same. You would actually have to do 6 to the 3rd times 5 to the 4th. All right, let's try this one. A base stays the same. What's 4 plus 6? 10. So it'd be x to the 10th. Let's try this one. All right, that would be p to the 24. 4 plus 12 plus 8. 8 plus 20. 8 plus 12 is 20 plus 4 is 24. Look at this one. In this one, we're only adding the a's together and the b's together. So it'd be a, 2 plus 7 is 9. B, 3 plus 5 is 8. How'd you do on that one? Excellent. All right, so what happens when you have a power to a power? A power to a power, you multiply. For example, if I have x squared to the 3rd power, that's actually saying x squared times x squared times x squared, which, if you use the product rule of exponents, says x to the 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 2 is 6. Now, you don't have to show all that work. You just do 2 to the 3rd power. 2 times 3 is x to the 6th. So when you have a power to a power, you multiply those powers together. Hit pause and write that down. All right, let's work a couple. What would this be? 3 to the 3 times 4, which is 3 to the 12th. Excellent. So let's kick it up a notch. And here's a couple more I want you to try. Hit pause and try each one. In this instance, the 4 goes to everything in there. So it's like saying 2 to the 4th, x to the 5 times 4, and y to the 3 times 4. So we actually got to work that out. What's 2 to the 4th? 16. X would be to the 20th, and y would be to the 12th. Don't forget that 4 goes to everything in that parentheses. It's just like distributing. All right, let's try another one. Hit pause and try and work that one out. Okay, so you should have gotten 64x to the 6th. How'd you do? So it would be 4 to the 3rd and x to the 2 times 3. So 4 to the 3rd is 64. 2 times 3 is 6. One more. Hit pause and work this one out. Okay, so you should have gotten 625, x to the 12th, y to the 20th, z to the 8th. Let's work that. 5 to the 4th, x to the 3 times 4, which is 12, y to the 5 times 4, which is 20, and z to the 2 times the 4th, which is 8. And then you need to work out 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 is 625. Excellent. See you in class.